Jack, again, I'm curious about this. Again, Jack does a lot of work, and it's really good work relative to the Browns salary cap. Follow him on Twitter. Make sure you get him on the Orange and Brown Report. Take a look at this tweet. Browns players with guarantees 2025. Watson, Delpit, and Denzel Ward. And you see the number there. The thing that underneath it is Andrew Berry has lots of flexibility to work with next year. Should be a very fun offseason. Take us through that and how important that is.
Yeah, so looking at sort of cash budgets and how much they're going to pay a player, my projection at the moment is there's 41 million set aside for this year that they can go out and pay guys, and that's just continuing their model and how they've worked the last 3 years. And they can create a bit more. Say they cut a guy like Wyatt Teller, or they do a deal with Nick Chubb to take a pay cut. That would add more cash to their budget. If we look forward to next year, so 41 million this year, 106 million off the top of my head is sort of what I'm budgeting them at. And that's working on a 275 million a year salary cap for next season. We still haven't heard that official number for 2025 yet. But then they can go and create loads of money. So they might get rid of Conklin in a year's time. Well, that's another 15 million into your budget. They can get rid of a handful of other guys. Thornhill, 7 million, they might move off of him. We could easily be talking about 150 million to play with. And that's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. Obviously, it's because a guy like Nick Chubb's out of contract, a guy like Amari Cooper's out of contract. But there is lots of different directions that they can go. This off-season is very much... It's not going to be as radical as last year where there's lots of money going in. It's going to be more continuity, whereas next off-season, everyone's up. There's 3 guys with guarantees. Obviously, we'll add some more if JOK gets extended. He'll go into that list of guarantees next year. But Andrew Berry has a lot of freedom to play in a year's time. Myles Garrett's going to be asking for a big extension in a year's time. It's going to be a more fun off-season. That's what I'll say. This off-season might be a bit more chilled. Lots of quality additions, but I don't think you're going to see the big splashes. Maybe JOK's at 10 million. Maybe another guy gets Zadarius Smith in that range, whereas it might be a sort of 2-3 guys in the 5 to 10 million range, and then just some smaller, cheap pieces that Shelby Harris that fill out a roster and give you that quality. And that was quality that drove us to the playoffs, because the Browns had guys that could just keep stepping up and filling in the gaps when guys got injured. That's what really made a difference in this last year. It wasn't the superstars. It was the guys at the bottom of the roster who just allowed continuity to flow when guys got hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. They overcame so many injuries.